Hello, it's Sunday morning here and I'm wearing no makeup. I'm about to do my workout and I need to wash my hair. But I really wanted to sit down and make this video anyway and just give you a little update about my life, what's been happening lately. I haven't talked about my life apart from my pregnancy for such a long time, so I really felt the urge to talk to you about some things today. So some of you who follow me on social media perhaps will know that a couple of weeks ago I went back to my country, Lithuania, and it was supposed to be our baby moon. That's how originally we planned it, but that's not really the way it turned out to be. It actually turned out to be a very stressful and physically and mentally challenging trip because my mom had finally decided to leave my dad and divorce him after 43 years of marriage. So that was a huge decision. And when we booked the tickets to go there, we didn't have any clue that that's what was going to happen, but it did happen just before the trip. And so she was moving out at the time when we were there. So we helped her pack everything, move everything, carry everything, and finally move her out just the day before our flight back home. So the whole time was spent working really hard with quite a horrible atmosphere at home as well, as you can imagine. Last June, I made a video talking about my childhood trauma, where I talked about my dad and his mom, my grandma. At that point, when I made the video, I had no idea what was wrong with my dad, why he was behaving like this. But so many of you actually gave me the correct diagnosis. And when I started reading about it online, when I started educating myself, when I'm reading articles, it helped me so much because I finally had an explanation of why he was behaving like this. And I finally had a confirmation that there was nothing wrong with me, with my sister or my mom. There was nothing wrong with us. There was something wrong with him. It wasn't our fault. And I'm so grateful to all of you who told me what it was. It's the Narcissistic Personality Disorder. His mom was like that, his sisters were like that, they were all like that. And apparently a child who is born into a narcissistic family with a narcissistic parent is very likely to become narcissistic themselves because of the kind of childhood trauma that they go through. So reading about that and realizing that he himself suffered from childhood trauma and that's why he became like that really helped me understand him better and stop blaming myself and feeling unworthy. It has been really healing for me. When I made that video back in June, I was determined to forgive him and keep talking to him, keep the contact going, and to really kind of use it as a challenge to myself to really be able to love him no matter what. And I still think that forgiveness is so important. But at the same time, I realized that forgiveness while still being in touch with him is impossible because facing him keeps reopening that wound again and again and again, and it's an endless work that never finishes. So the truth is that a lot of you said that the only way to heal and to set myself free was to cut off all the communication. At the beginning, I was very against it because I didn't think it was the right thing to cut off communication with a parent. But then he basically didn't give me a choice because he kept calling and saying really nasty things about my mom. So he basically forced me to choose one of them, to choose my mom. And I just couldn't allow him to say those things about my mom anymore. So I had to cut off the communication. And so since June, my sister and I have pretty much completely cut off communication with him. And it's surprising how much better and calmer we've been feeling. I mean, it's incredible. So I do agree now with all of you who said that cutting off the ties is probably the most healing thing to do. I agree, because without having this constant communication with him, I was really able to work on my feelings towards him and to forgive him. Another thing, as I said, that helped so much was reading a lot of articles about narcissistic behavior disorder and understanding why he did the things he did, why he behaved the way he behaved, and really understanding that he was a victim of a narcissistic mother himself, and that's why he grew up like this. He just did the best with what he knew, with what he grew up with. That's all he could do. quite recently, I also read a book called The Continuum Concept that one of you recommended to me for raising children. So it was extremely helpful for me for that. But then I went to her website and I kept reading more articles, and there was one article where she talked about dealing with childhood trauma and dealing with parents who caused the trauma, and it really helped me so much as well, because it basically talked about how we all view our parents as these powerful beings that can never go wrong, can never be wrong, and their opinion really matters because of that, because we see them as kind of semi-gods, but in reality they're just people who make mistakes and they're just like us, and their opinion isn't really any more valid than anyone else in the world. Our opinion is what really should matter. And when I read that, I realized that it really helped me realize that my dad as well was just a scared child with his own traumas, with his own troubles, and it doesn't matter what he does or says. If I see him as just another neutral adult, I can react to his behavior and his words in different ways, and interpret his behavior in the past in different ways. And I don't know, it just really helped me see him as just another human being with mistakes and wrong ideas and his own traumas. So as I said, the day before going back home, we moved my mom out, and that was really so liberating, because my sister and I have been waiting for this moment for probably 20 years. We always knew that it would be better for everyone if she left, but she never did. But she finally made that decision, and I'm so proud of her, because making such a decision after 43 years of living together is not easy. It definitely isn't easy, and leaving your house behind, your garden behind, everything that you created with love is really not easy at all. But you know, it's going to be a much better life for her and for my sister and I for sure as well. So she is staying with my sister for now, and she's happy. In the future, my husband and I are planning to move towards Madrid, the capital of Spain, so back to the continent. Not exactly Madrid, the city itself, but more like an hour away in the mountains. The mountains over there are just so beautiful. So our plan is to move there in a year or in a year and a half, get a house for ourselves with a bit more space, so that my mom can come and spend maybe 6 months a year with us and enjoy quality time with her grandchildren. And I think it would be so good for her to spend, you know, half a year in Lithuania, half a year in Spain with us, and she would really have that life that she never had. So my biggest motivation right now is really just to work hard to be able to move to Madrid as soon as possible, so that we have space for my mom to stay with us whenever she wants. And plus, it will be so easy for her to fly to see us, because it will be just a direct flight of 2.5 hours and she can be with us. While coming to Tenerife now is something like 20 hours of traveling, 2 different flights, lots of wait in between. It's really challenging and tiring, and it's really not something she could do, as she doesn't even speak English. So that's the plan. I hope that we're going to get there by next Christmas, or maybe by the next spring. I'm really looking forward to it. What else could I update you on? So when we were in Lithuania, we completely got used to their time zone, and it's +2 GMT. Our time zone is basically GMT, so it was 2 hours plus. So we were going to bed earlier and we were waking up earlier. And when we came back here, for some reason, we just stuck to that time zone, and we keep going to bed early and waking up early. We've been trying to get there for so long, and it just wasn't working. But now we are waking up naturally at 6:30 in the morning and going to bed at 10:30 p.m. effortlessly. So this trip really reset our body clock, and it's amazing, because I really wanted to get that done before the baby's born, because obviously babies wake up early, and I just feel like I can get so much more done and feel so much better about myself and about everything if I wake up early and go to bed early. So I'm really happy that we managed to get there before our boy comes in May. And as I'm waking up earlier, I feel much more productive, and I'm really determined to establish some kind of a schedule on my YouTube channel, again, before the baby comes, because once he comes, I will surely be taking a break for a while to really enjoy him fully. So for now, I'm thinking maybe Wednesday and Sunday. those seem to be good days for me and also good days for you because the views are the highest on those days. Perhaps sometimes there'll be a bonus video on a Friday, but generally I think Wednesday and Sunday, somewhere around 6 p.m. GMT, that's when I should be uploading. So keep an eye out for those videos. The truth is that YouTube is not really doing a very good job at notifying people of new videos. I keep getting messages from you saying that you don't see my videos in your feed, which is so sad, but it's partly because I never really have a schedule. Having a schedule makes it easy for you to go and check my channel whenever you know the video should be up, but it also makes YouTube promote those new videos more. So hopefully that's going to bring me more views and bring that dream of moving to Madrid closer. So I guess that's all I wanted to talk about in this little update. That's what's happening in my life right now, apart from expecting our first baby and being super excited because we just stepped into the 3rd trimester. And I'm super happy. I feel honestly liberated since my mom left my dad and I don't have to talk to him or see him anymore. It's strangely liberating. I feel great about that. So thank you to all of those once again who told me that it was narcissistic personality disorder. It helped me so much knowing that. And also to those of you who said that really cutting off the communication was the only way. You are right. Thank you so much for sharing that with me and for sharing all of your stories. I can't believe how many of you have gone through similar experiences and who also have narcissistic parents. So it's great sharing those experiences, and it definitely made me feel much less alone. So thank you so much for that. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one, which, by the way, is going to be this sourdough recipe that I promised you a while ago, a brand new one, super good one. So I'll see you then. Bye.